And I worked when I graduated. I worked for the tourism company in Philadelphia, basically doing this.
Okay, yeah, no, I would like
now
you
I work
to.
for a small marketing agency.
Nice. I work for
Yeah, move that. It won't be. Yeah.
but I work in our Lafayette Hill property.
Oh, okay.
All right. Yeah, but now I can't see this. That's nope.
I've
That's
done
okay.
a bunch of stuff for the tourism company with the union.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah. When I was
I
there.
can put it. Yeah. Now that I've done that. Just take a picture of us this way, because this will be that'll be a really cool. So if yeah, that'd be good. Okay, we ready for this?
Yeah, just adjusting things for me.
Say what?
How long do I have to stand here? Because I have to do I have to switch.
As long as it takes to listen to it on. You're going to listen to it on Facebook out there, and make sure that the sound's coming out. Because if the sound's not coming out, that's because that's there. All right, hit the go live. We're already recording there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, you ready? Anytime. Good? All right, I think we're good. You ready?
Sure.
Ready. All right, 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, this is Gary Moore with Journey More Often, and Matt
How's it going, everybody?
Smith with we're Tipsy Tagalongs, and we also have with us today, which is really cool, we have Cheryl, who manages this place. We're at the Revivalist Spirits, okay? If you try and find this place on Google Maps, you're not going to find it at the Brandywine Bistro, because Matt found that out.
I learned that last night.
Yeah, the hard way. He was like, hey, how do I get here?
Yeah.
And I said, oh, yeah, I forgot. It's actually on Google Maps as the Revivalist Spirits. So we just wanted to bring you up to speed. We've this is like our fourth broadcast now? Fourth or fifth. So,
yeah.
we had the introduction. We were at 1723 Vineyards. We were at Kennett Brewing Company.
Yep.
We did the Winterfest. That was a lot of fun. And now we're here at Brandywine Bistro, which is really cool. This place, by the way, it just totally accidentally found it one night. We were like, oh, yeah, the bridge was out.
Yeah.
And it forced us to come through Elverson, okay? And so my wife and I are passing this place, like, because our son lives up further near Pottstown, and we were passing this place all the time, and we're like, we should really come here one day. And so
It's cool.
we did. We're on our way home. We decided, okay, we're just going to stop by, okay? Because we were hungry, we wanted something to eat, we wanted to try it out, and bam, and the next thing you know, we're eating one of the most fantastic burgers ever, and drinking some really, really good distilled liquor, which was cool. And so I texted my wife's Aunt Mary over there, and Uncle Bob. So I texted them, and they came over in like 10 minutes, because they live almost a 10-minute walk from here, and it took them 10 minutes to get in the car, actually, and come over. But they came over, and we had a blast with, just kind of hanging out, and it's a great atmosphere. Yeah. It's just a fun place to be if you want to just enjoy life. Right, you can journey more often here.
Yeah, that's actually my first time here.
Yeah, so
Kind of exciting for me.
Yes, indeed. It is a great little place, and I remember the night Gary came in, and his aunt came down the hill basically and joined us, and it really is a special place. It's a special place to me. I mean,
but
I've been here 5 years, and I
that's
love it.
cool. That's cool. So how long has the distillery been open?
So it's been open. They purchased a property in 2016, and then 2014. Then they turned on the still in 2016.
Oh.
And then they opened the bistro in June of 2016.
Okay. All right. So it was
Just
very
about 6
short.
years. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the beast. So it's kind of separate in one sense. So there's the revivalist part that makes the distilled liquor, and then there's the bistro that sells the food, kind of thing.
Correct.
Okay, that's cool. I didn't know that. And that's a long time. That's like 7 years, and you've been here five of those 7 years.
Yes.
Okay, so you must be doing something right?
I hope so. Meeting great people.
Sorry about that. Yeah. But our experience the first night that we got here is so indicative of the atmosphere of this place. It's very welcoming, and it feels comfortable when you walk in. It's comfortable to sit and have a conversation. There's some ladies over there in the corner who come like every 3 months or so.
Yes.
And they've been doing that since they graduated from high school. So it's that kind of place. It's the local haunt where you want to be a barfly, and you can. It's a lot of fun because you can have a personal conversation in the corner while everybody else is doing the same thing. So, all right, so fantastic on creating the vibe. Now we've got to talk about what's going on here, So, or let's keep going with the vibe, because we are in a barn. We're in the foundation of the barn. We're in where they probably had the stalls at one point, the barn. Okay, so
basically the barn dates back to 1899. It was a Amish working farm up until 1953, and that was the last family that owned it, John Stolfus. And basically he just left it lock, stock, and barrel. And their driver took him to Portland, Oregon. He wanted out of the Amish community. He wanted to study Christianity. His daughter Fern was 3 years old at the time, and 2 years ago in August, Fern came back.
Oh.
And she did a tour, and she loved it. She loved that, someone was using the barn, and she told us that pigs and cows were basically back in where you would sit and have dinner, Gary.
Yeah.
Or lunch. And she gave us a lot of history on it, and it's amazing what Don and Scott Avellino did to the property in 2 years to turn it around. It was really run down. In the 60s, It was a hippie squatter place.
Oh.
If you go upstairs to the top of the barn, there are beams with the old psychedelic painting.
Oh, nice. Okay.
In the 80s, there were 20 antique cars stored up there. And the customer who actually stored those comes in once in a while. And then it was just kind of left empty and just kind of let go. But they were looking for something, in historical Chester County, and just stumbled upon the barn. And, Ben Franklin, I guess he had something built up in this area many years ago. So there's a lot of history.
We hear a lot about Ben Franklin.
Yes.
A friend of mine has a tour company in Philly, and he says of the 100 questions you ask someone about Philly, 98 of them, the answer is Ben Franklin.
Wow.
Yeah, he was involved in an awful lot of things. Like when we went to the Kennett Brewing Company, there were a couple of recipes that they used that were derived from Ben Franklin's actual recipes. So it was pretty cool to see that.
Was everywhere.
So that's some serious history going on. And and what's encouraging is it didn't, from purchase to opening, it didn't actually take them that long. I mean, it can take a long time especially when it's in the old barn format. And I will tell you, if you're coming in, you're not going to see pigs running around. This is not Key West, okay? So they did a fabulous job turning it over quickly, because that's not easy to do.
No, not at all.
Especially because you have to have planning and you have to have approvals, and that takes longer than the construction sometimes. So
Exactly.
2 years is actually a nice turnaround to create something like this, and it's really set up well. There's two rooms basically. There's the room where the bar is, and then there's the room where the distillery is, and there's plenty of seating. Although there's not a ton of tables left here right now, and it's only 2:40 in the afternoon. Yeah. So, all right, that's cool. So we got the barn. It looks like it has been renovated, and I assume upstairs is just basic storage and stuff like that now. The psychedelic beams are still there?
They are.
So if you have to have somebody wait for their ride because they've, you can send them up there and until the ride gets here.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Anyway, so all right, let's start with this great selection. Cheryl has poured us what is called the Equinox, right?
Yes.
That is number one. And by the way, we're actually, it's A. We've got these glasses that are demarcated because Matt and I have a little trouble with
I'd remember if they didn't
going in order. Yeah. So this is A, and this is called the Equinox.
I wander in my tastings.
Describe the Equinox for us, Cheryl, and what you think everybody loves about it.
Well, the Equinox is our most basic gin. The nice thing about it is you don't get that juniper taste right up front.
Ooh, that I like that.
It's very smooth, considered comparable with the London Dry. And then from Equinox, they build up to the next flavor of the gin that you're going to taste.
Right. Oh, and you have 5 gins here.
We actually have 6. The new one created recently, our tropical gin, which has some banana, pineapple, and orange rind notes in it.
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
Sounds good.
And then in June, it's a big surprise, and I'll let it stay that way, but we'll have another gin coming out.
Nice.
Called
Do you know
Garden Gin.
So the 6th gin will come out in June, you said?
It's actually the 7th, yeah.
Oh, cool. All right, so there you go. You got the scoop, the early scoop, that they've got a new gin coming out to make it 6. And by the way, they're award-winning in their gin.
Yeah.
It's just produce gin. Yeah. They win awards for their gin, and that's pretty cool because you can produce a good alcohol, but if you don't throw it out there and let everybody else taste it and have people see what it's like and experience it, it doesn't do anything for the public. And here we are sitting in an award-winning gin spot, so, and we didn't talk about location. It's practically in the middle of nowhere. It's about a mile east of Elverson.
I would say yes.
Off of 23. I mean, don't quote me on exactly a mile. It could be a mile and a half or whatever, but it's east of Elverson, not that far out, and it's as you're going east, it's on the left-hand side or the north side of 23, which is but it's easy to get to.
It is, for sure.
It's just out in the middle of nowhere, which makes it more fun because in the summertime when the weather's good, you have an outdoor area that we have come in. I think the time we came, literally we were thinking, oh, it'd be great to sit outdoors, and everything was taken, and we were like, oh, okay, I guess we're sitting indoors if there's a seat. Hope there's a seat indoors, right? So, the outdoor seating is pretty clutch, and from a lot of the seating you can see like the farm and the hills over on the west side of the barn, which is so cool. It's a really, it just adds to the ambience and the experience.
Coming out of the city, because being in Philly, driving out here, it's nice. You see where everything ends, and then it's just all fields.
Yes, for sure.
Which is a nice change. It's a nice change of scenery coming out of the city.
Wow, this is everything you said it was. So they have these really cool brochures on each of the distilled
because
liquors.
I would not remember them.
Yeah, and this is good. So for us, it's
my ADD would kick in if I didn't have that.
Yeah, I hear you. Want to ride bikes? Yeah.
I am curious though. So like I see that you said you have 7 coming now in June. Where did all the different flavor ideas come from? Because they're very different, and there's a lot of them.
Well, I think with Don and Scott being they worked with their father. Their father was in the automotive business for many years, and they both had They love craftsmanship and coming out with something different, and I just, they really wanted to. Don was really crafting a lot of beer at the time, and that market was really saturated. Think about it.
Oof. Can be.
So they just got on this kick with gin, and that's really how it all began. And then they just went into more flavors and more,
right?
And they like the whole botanical. Yeah. Not.
That's a nice theme.
Exactly.
That's a very nice
adding
theme.
Sugar and all of that. Add a nice botanical with it.
Because you want something that's got more flavor than just flat alcohol, but you don't want to go into that unnamed brand that has all the flavors. You want to create something that's beyond that, which I think has happened. I've only tasted this one, and I'm already sold.
It's very good.
I'll buy stock after this, I think.
I will tell you, I'm not the biggest gin fan. I'm a whiskey drinker. There's a distillery right around the corner from where I live that does gin Blue Coat.
Yes.
Right around the corner from us. And that was the first gin I drank that I really liked. This is as good, if not better, to me. And again, I have gin flavoring is not my thing, but this is very good. It's very smooth. I can drink it without having to mix it with anything, which I like. I don't like mixing my alcohol if I don't have to. I don't like diluting it. I want to drink the alcohol.
Right.
I want to enjoy it. So it's very good. It's very smooth.
And I think the key to that is a lot of people don't get to experience good distilled liquor.
Yeah.
Your first, everybody, we won't talk about underage or not, but everybody's first experience.
Whatever's cheap and affordable.
Oh, and
whatever's cheap and affordable.
We forgot to say drink responsibly
Please.
all the time. So
Please.
we're not advocating
drink responsibly.
anything but drinking responsibly. And but your first experience with distilled liquor is usually terrible stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's the cheapest. You can't afford anything.
In college,
when you're
in college, we had competitions to see who could find the cheapest bottle of something.
Right.
It was never good.
When you were
good.
junior or senior, let's say
it wasn't good. It was just whatever was affordable because you're in college.
And that that's a shame because that's not what real alcohol is about.
Not at all.
When you're looking, and then you.
That was the stuff you're
say
mixing
you
with
grow up,
orange juice and Gatorade, and it's not good.
Because you have to in order to
actually
stomach it.
Yes,
literally.
Exactly.
In my day, it was green alcohol with Hawaiian punch and a trash can.
Right?
Yeah.
Or in the
100%. Yeah.
in the school punch bowl.
Wow.
Right? Oh wait.
I do not
shoot.
miss-
I can't take any credit for that.
I do not miss those days.
Yeah.
I enjoy the fact that I can actually enjoy my alcohol now.
Yeah. So speaking of which, should we move on?
Yeah, the next one.
we move on?
What do we have? We have the Summertide next.
Yeah, the Summertide.
So what is the Summertide compared to the last one?
So the Summertide, they add a bit of jasmine and rose with a little bit of honeysuckle.
For real.
And that's my favorite actually.
So
I think it's very easy to drink.
no, we got started. We talked about how to drink or how to taste wine and how to taste beer. So is it very similar? Do you sniff the?
Yes.
It has, and if you go from left to right or right to left, it's different as you're going.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Matt, back to your point of not being a gin drinker, it's amazing how many people come in here
And say they're not
and
gin
say,
drinkers. Yeah.
or I had a really bad experience
Yeah.
when I was younger, and I'm like, you know what?
You gotta
only
try
have to
this.
Give it a try.
I feel like gin, much like with vodka, I feel like gin is one of those alcohols that if you don't get a good one, you can have a really bad experience with it, and it can cause you to not want to drink gin again in the future.
Right.
Ever.
And
swear off of it, and then the next thing you know,
it's sad because there's places like you guys here that are delicious that some people might be afraid to try because they're sworn off to gin.
Right.
Yeah.
And
So
I
here-
was that person. Like
Yeah.
I drank Tanqueray and tonic. But
Wow.
when I think back, it was like drinking my father's cologne.
Yeah, It just tastes. It tastes.
That's a great description, actually.
It tastes like those air
That's a great
fresheners. But
description.
it tastes like pine trees.
Tanqueray
Yeah.
and tonic is
it's
only.
exactly what I associated gin with growing up.
You got to have the squeeze and lime
Yeah.
in that, though. That's what makes it actually palatable.
Yeah, that was it.
But this is so, if you're thinking, why would I ever go to someplace that sells gin? This is why. Because this is standalone. You don't have to mix it if you don't want to mix it.
Yeah.
And
that's what I
by
like.
the way, you're going to want to pick the correct one if you're going to mix it, because whatever you're going to mix it, whatever ultimate recipe you have, you're going to want to match the flavor of the particular gin to that recipe. And it's kind of like, so here's my pitch for American Wine Journey. I'm doing another podcast with somebody else. American Wine Journey is going into this thing of pairing wines with food and then pairing foods with wine, which are two
Interesting.
different perspectives. Because if you have a wine, you don't know what to pair with it,
Right.
so you got to know, okay, how do I even approach that, right? Or if you have food, and by the way, so we're doing a barbecue pairing in June. And we're doing a Thanksgiving pairing in September. So you have 2 months to figure out what you're going to
big.
prepare for Thanksgiving and what wines to bring with you for that. So, those are upcoming podcasts that I think they're actually really practical, but they're going to be fun too, because we're going to be actually eating for those, Ben and I. Sorry about that, Matt. But
Disappointing.
yeah, but Matt gets to go to the other fun
That's very
stuff,
true, I
like
do.
the Kennett Brewfest.
Exactly.
That was kind of
Exactly.
fun. That was kind of fun. Although we didn't get to drink that much. There
Not
were
that much at
60
all.
vendors,
And
and
it
we.
was
Oh, wow.
And I think if I got
So
two.
crowded.
I think if I got 2 full glasses, they have 2 ounce glasses
success.
in 4 hours. If
Yeah,
I did
it's a
2
success.
full glasses, that was all I got for the whole time.
Yeah.
So I was definitely driving
There's a lot of
responsibly.
people. A lot of people.
But
it was
anyway,
worth it.
so we're here. So
am-
you sniff and then you taste, and this is definitely a different flavor
Oh, yeah.
altogether.
Yeah.
So it's completely different.
Yeah.
In this one, it feels like it's even smoother than the one
Yeah, I feel like
before.
it's less-
Equinox.
yeah,
The one,
I feel like
the
it's less
Equinox
bite.
was smooth, but the Summer
Yeah.
Tide, I feel like it's even smoother, which is great because everything. There's a reason why they call some liquor rot gut, because it tastes bad, it goes down bad, it feels bad, and this is not that.
I will not comment on my experiences.
Yeah,
with that.
we've all but anybody who's had stuff to drink has had the bad stuff at some point.
100%.
I never heard that expression.
No?
Certainly going to.
I may be showing
Remember it.
I may be showing my age on that one. So
We're going to be moving into some whiskeys here, but before we move into them,
Yeah.
There's more on this flyer. There's going to be 7 come June. Can you
no,
talk?
6 come June.
7.
7.
Oh wait,
6 is
when
coming
is
out soon.
when is 6 coming out then?
It's out. That's the
6
tropical
is
one.
out.
Oh, the tropical one is already out, and I didn't know it.
Oh,
I
see?
missed that in this
See?
conversation. Okay, so
Seven's coming
The
in
7th is
Yeah.
coming out. Okay, so wow.
Do you want to give us a little preview of some of these other gins that you guys offer and kind of the flavors behind them? Because we're not tasting them today.
Sure.
But there's a liquor store in Delaware that I go to, and they were sampling some of these. So I've had the Dragon Dance before.
Really?
So
They're actually sampling them there?
Yeah,
We're not going to
yeah.
talk about where that is.
I know. But I've had the Dragon Dance before, and it's very interesting. So for other people that are watching that might not, a little background on these other flavors as well.
Yeah.
So we'll start with the Dragon Dance. The Dragon Dance is infused with fresh jalapeno peppers.
Oh, it's good.
Oh,
it's so good.
It's one of our popular ones. And as you stated, Matt, you had that in a liquor store.
Mm-hmm.
So only 3 of our gins are currently in the liquor stores.
okay.
And that would be the Equinox, Summer Tide, Dragon Dance.
Interesting. So I had one of the only 3.
Yes.
That's interesting.
And then our
Nice.
harvest and solstice are our winter gins.
Oh.
So they're produced in small batches and they're only available for a certain time, and we sell them out of here.
Okay.
At the bistro. And the harvest has it has some cinnamon, nutmeg, and clove, with more of like a little bit of citrus. And then the solstice has the anise, dried cherry, and grapefruit.
It's an aged gin.
Yes, that's actually aged in a red wine barrel, and that's where it gets the color from.
Okay.
So it has like a little red tone to it.
so is that what? All right. So I love wine, but I love distilled liquor. Yeah, but anyway,
It's the best of both
so
worlds.
what kind of red wine is it? Like a Cabernet Sauvignon
it's a
or
Bordeaux.
A Bordeaux. Ooh, so that's a really nice boost, if
Yeah.
you will, to that. And that's only available. So the harvest and the solstice are only available for like a couple more weeks or months, kind of thing.
Yes.
they'll
It-
sell out
Run
soon.
out.
Exactly.
They'll sell out
They'll
soon.
make it. They bottle it, and then we sell it out of here.
Now, do you keep the same recipe like to the T every year for those 2?
I'm going to have to say I'm really not sure. but
Okay.
I would think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, because I mean, with grapes it's different, but with grains it's easier to maintain a recipe. Does that make sense? Like grapes are different every year.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know what the weather's different,
Variation,
so
right.
all that stuff. But with the
Amount
grains,
of rain, amount of sun, stuff like that.
right?
change
You
it.
can you can change that up if you want to, but if you keep that same one, well, that's cool. You have the seasonal ones that you still maintain the recipe, but on the other hand, you know it's only available during that season. I think that's really cool because it offers this change up, okay.
Yeah.
And it does offer a boost to winter sales as well. That's not doesn't
Right.
hurt anything, you know, because these places need to survive in the winter, folks. You need to get everybody get their butts out and drive down to here, you know, so that you can experience this stuff. So all right, so these are the 5, and then we talked about number 6, which is out but not.
It's our tropical gin, and that's the one that has the banana, the pineapple,
Okay.
and the orange rum.
Now, is that a seasonal one as well, or is that going to be out?
Well, you know, it's our distiller Patrick created it, and it's delicious, and it just sold out so quickly.
Oh, really?
Okay, so you have a
And it makes a great like a
Wait.
pina colada.
Yeah.
you can't
Yeah.
you can't ooh.
So the Dragon Dance that they were saying would be a really good like margarita.
Right, we have a spicy
Mix.
margarita
Yeah.
that's delicious.
So
Yeah.
I love a good spicy margarita.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, because because of the jalapeno
Yeah.
influence. Yeah. That would, wow, that sounds good.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, you only need a couple ingredients to pair with our spirits to bring out the flavors. Like, you know,
Exactly.
And you still want to taste the alcohol.
See, now I'm thinking, I'm wondering with gin number 6, what's it called again?
It's called tropical.
Tropical. Oh, so it is very tropical. I'm thinking that you could throw that into like a Bahama Mama or a Bahama Papa.
I'm sure.
Because it's very tropical.
Yeah.
So, you know, when I make them, I actually include like orange
Beach
juice.
cocktail.
Yeah, I mean, when you're tasting them, the ones that I made, people are like, there's no alcohol in here. And they've got an 8-ounce glass, right?
Right.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
there's literally
Yeah.
3 ounces of
Right.
alcohol in your glass right now. So you're going to feel this in about half an hour.
Only
'Cause
drink one.
It may be 90 degrees out, but you're going to
Yeah.
feel it quick.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you've got those. Oh, wait. Yeah, we talked about 7.
Yeah,
so,
7's coming
all
up.
right, that's great. I really like that. So that's a big selection. I mean, we went to last year, about a year and a half ago, we went to Oregon and we went to this one winery and we were like, we're going to do a tasting. And we were doing the podcast then. So one of the things that I thought was really crazy is that you get there and they show you the tasting. It's 5 Pinot Noirs.
Wow.
And I thought, there's no way. There's no way that this is going to work for me because, you know, you got 5 Pinot Noirs, right? And they took us through the 5 Pinot Noirs, and I was like, all right, I'm sold. It's like kind of like here, you know, you're like, okay, I'm used to, I know what gin tastes like. It's terrible, you know, and it's not terrible. You got to go to some place who actually produces a good
gin.
end product, and you know, so you know, when you say 7 gins, they're all different, and they all taste good, and they all have a certain je ne sais quoi.
Something for everybody.
Yeah. And so, well, now after 7, you know, and so, something else to win another award with.
Yes.
But wait, there's more. There's also whiskey.
Oh yeah. So that's page 2, right?
If you really are against the gin,
yeah. If you're really,
there is whiskey.
yeah, and you can't do that.
No.
I'm just saying.
No, you got to try everything. But
So we're hitting the Resurgent.
yes.
Yes, the Resurgent whiskeys.
And this is they're all named Resurgent. Here, that's how.
So
that's-
Revivalist is the gin, and
And the whiskey.
Resurgent.
Ooh, I like that. Revivalist. Is that a take, by the way, yeah, well, let's talk about the names. Is that a take on, like, Prohibition?
I think
or-
it's more of a taste on believing that gin was going to be revitalized at the time.
Oh, cool.
They were thinking about, you know, starting a business and
Okay. So, well, I can tell you the gins I've tasted
Yeah.
would definitely,
Yeah.
have that effect on you.
Again, I'm going to cheat with these whiskeys too now because I've had the Young American bourbon.
okay.
So I've had some resurgent.
You get around.
Yeah, I'm a whiskey drinker, and
pretty cool. All right,
I'm a
all right.
local drinker. So when I go out and I buy alcohol, I try to stick to the local liquors and things because for me, it's not just supporting local. There's so much good local that people don't know about that I tend to, when I take a bottle to someone out of this area, I
Right.
tend to try to get a local bottle and then bring it out of the area to try to
Right.
show people what's here. So I've had the Young American Bourbon, but I've always wanted to try the other one. So I'm actually very excited about the whiskey portion of this.
Well, and that's you mentioned one of the things. I don't think we mentioned that earlier. We do like to support wineries, breweries, and distilleries, but in particular, we like to support local wineries, breweries, and distilleries. So you're it's unlikely you're going to see us at like Behringer Winery. Sorry, Behringer.
No, probably not.
You know, they have some really nice
Probably
top
not
shelf wines,
going to Maker's Mark.
but probably not going to Maker's Mark, right? You know, that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
we're going to be focused on places
Yeah.
like this where you can actually, it's someplace you can get
can
to
come out,
and enjoy.
you can meet the people that
locals.
we're talking to.
And that's one of the things that we were talking about earlier is that you don't have to. You can either come here to drink, you can come here to eat, or you can come here to eat and drink.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's the way it works.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool that way because there are some places that you can only. We've been to places where you can only drink.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, from a drinker, that's kind of scary because you got to know up front.
Yeah.
Whether
You gotta
you're bringing
you gotta
food.
prepare for
Right.
that.
Because you don't want to be just drinking. I mean, you know, you
can, but you're probably
really,
not-
you
you're
really
probably not-
do, but then you
probably not driving.
That drinking responsibly and driving
Exactly.
responsibly doesn't
Exactly.
work well if you're
No, it
just
doesn't mix well.
drinking. So you know, this is a place though that you can, you know, and we're gonna have great food. Probably what I'd like to do is to, you know, we're still not there. We got 2 more to taste, but at the end of this tasting, I'd like to break out that one where they put the fire in it because that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And you guys get to see that. Oh, that's coming up. And it's a really cool mixed drink that they make that they honestly, they're exploiting the liquor in it. I mean, it is so good. And it's kind of it does have the little gimmicky smoky thing, but the smoke actually adds flavor,
Yeah.
which makes it an even better drink.
Like
so,
a smoke drink.
So, you know, the fact that it does have the smoke is just, that enhances it, and it's kind of fun to watch at the same time.
And unfortunately, Gary, I have to smoke it out there because
Oh, no!
alcohol back here.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I
boom,
can't-
boom. Okay, yeah. Ooh, we don't want to
Makes
do that.
sense.
We don't
No, we don't
wanna
wanna do that.
But we can smoke it out there and then pull the...
Lit off back here.
Thank you for the safety moment. That's our
Yes.
safety moment. Never smoke anything near open alcohol. Yeah.
Don't do it.
It doesn't end
Do
well.
not try
I
it
could
at
see
home.
that happening, though.
I don't
could-
think Don and Scott would be very happy
No,
with me.
no, I don't want Don and Scott to be unhappy because that means we failed our job
Yeah.
at that point. You know, we
Yeah.
want to promote, not destroy.
Not destroy. build, not break down.
That's a really good point. I hadn't actually thought about it until you mentioned it, and I'm like, ooh, yeah. Let's not blow up the place that we're actually doing a tasting of. All right, so let's go. So we've got the Revivalist that we just did. Now we're on Resurgent.
into the Resurgent
Resurgents are all the.
So tell us a little bit about this first one that we're trying here.
So you're trying the Custom Cast 100. You'll get some notes of maple and blackberry with some vanilla. Custom Cast 100 is aged 4+ years. And it's all aged and bottled here on property
So good.
How is it aged?
in a barrel.
Okay, is it in just a regular?
No, it's charred to our specifications.
Ooh, is it medium char, heavy char, light char?
I'm not 100% sure.
Secret,
Okay.
secret char.
Secret char.
Can't talk about it.
Secret char.
She
Just
could tell you, but she'd have to dunk you in the
by the-
alcohol afterwards.
by which would not be a bad way to go. but I don't think I'm ready
the
yet.
grand scheme of
when I'm
things.
ready to go, I'll ask if we can do that. You know, I'll just buy a whole batch.
Exactly.
And have
Exactly.
somebody, you know, well, no, seriously, that's not going to happen. Don't even, no. Anyway, so by the taste of it, I would say that it's probably a medium toast because a heavier toast would produce a lot different flavor. So that's just me talking. I don't know if that's true.
Well, you'll have to come back and
Yes.
I can answer that question the next time.
Yeah. Well, I will be back. There's no question about
Yeah.
if. It's just a question of when. But this has and I can smell the vanilla and taste the vanilla. It's very much there. So, do you
get any hints of peach or apple?
I get the apple. I don't taste much of the peach, though I'm sure it's there. It's probably just my palate.
Maybe some black tea.
Probably I get the black
little
tea as
pepper.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, the pepper.
Yeah.
Definitely the pepper.
Yeah, it's very good.
And that's we talk. So this is interesting because in the first wine tasting that we did actually just as part of that, we talked about how to do a wine tasting and what makes a good wine tasting experience. And it's not that much different from wine to beer to liquor.
Yeah.
Because when you're tasting this, a lot of this is personal experience.
Yes.
So because I've had people go, oh, you should taste this, 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 and this. And I'm like, I don't taste any of that. Like in a wine, oh, you'll taste the leather. Oh, I don't taste the leather, but I taste the coffee. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, I taste the coffee. Because everybody's palate is different.
Yeah.
And we also talked about the fact that, believe it or not, women have more taste buds than men.
Yeah.
So they're more susceptible to the different flavors and the different smells, which is crazy because that's why men just gulp and eat fast. Women enjoy their meal and their liquor because they can taste everything. And men like stuff that's like way spicier. Not all men, not all women. I mean, this is sweeping generalizations, people. But the fact is there's a lot in here. And so you can pick this. The description is apt because you can pick those flavors out of it.
Yeah. I think the thing that I like about like craft whiskey the most is that every time you drink a craft whiskey, it tastes slightly different. Even if you do everything exactly the same, even if you char everything exactly the same, use the exact recipe, everything is 100% the same. Every time I drink the same bottle of a craft whiskey, it's slightly different.
And there is that.
And I love that.
There is that. And we talked about it. The environment has to do something to do with it too. So if you're in a really cool pub that looks like a speakeasy like Kennet Brewing, that makes the beer taste like like you're doing something, not doing something wrong, but it's secret. You're tasting secret beer.
Yeah.
You're here in this
exactly.
Right. Yeah. So you're here in this environment and you're tasting things. You take it home. And your house is different. Yeah, your house is different. You don't have the same, like the environment has a specific smell as well as the
the same reason that something tastes a certain way to someone who grew up drinking it or eating it because the nostalgia feels too.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. The sense memory.
And your palate changes from day to day. And so it's going to taste different. And what's going to happen, I guarantee you what's going to happen, because if it tastes good the first time out of the gate, it's going to taste good the second time out of the gate. You're just going to recognize it as having different flavors the second time out of the gate.
Good and bad doesn't change.
It's still good. It's just a different good. It's not a better good, or it could be better good on a different day. But it's just still good. And that's what I love about it is that if it tastes good the first time, it's highly unlikely unless you get in a car accident and your brain is damaged and your palate is changed and then you don't like it anymore.
Yeah, it's really not going to change that draft.
Don't be putting that in a Yelp thing. Okay, my palate's different.
Don't do it.
Anyway, so
and I find the other thing is, a lot of females are drinking bourbons now.
Yeah.
And, people will come in and say, well, I just want to give it a try. And then they'll take that first sip and they'll be like, oh, gosh. And I always feel like the second sip is always better.
It is. Yeah. It is because everything's prepared and then it's, So it's all flavored well. It's like putting a primer on a wall before you paint it.
It's like anything. Like for me, growing up, whiskey was not like prevalent in our household. So like I never saw my dad drinking. Like my dad drank scotch. We never really drank like rye whiskey or anything like that. So like when I started drinking whiskey, for me, I was not the biggest fan. And now I love it. It's like my favorite thing to drink. I always try to find a new bottle of something I haven't had before, something to try new. But it took me a little little
Yeah.
while
Yeah.
drinking whiskey to get to a point that I like it. So it's definitely one of those things that, like, if you don't like it the first time, try it again.
Give it again.
Yeah,
Try it a third time.
Don't give up.
Don't
Don't give up.
It is good. It is good. You just might not like it the first time. So try it a second time. Try it a third time.
Yeah.
Eventually you'll find one that you like, and that kind of leads into all the other ones that you learn to like after that.
I mean, there's 7 different gins here, for
Yeah.
crying out loud, you know.
And 5 different whiskeys.
Yeah, so you're
Yeah.
going to find
You're gonna
something
find
that
something you like.
And, you know, maybe
I
you
agree.
don't. So we're going to have the last one
last
we're going
one,
to
yeah.
taste is going to be a coffee. It has coffee in it, but, you know, so it's not like you don't have an option here. You know, maybe you
Yeah.
don't like coffee. Maybe you do prefer a tropical blend of you know,
Yeah.
in your gin kind of thing. So there's so many different
Yeah, mix
flavors
and
that
match.
are
Try
available.
something new.
And that's the beauty of having a local place.
Yeah.
Because the national people are only going to do what sells
Yep.
really big money. Now, don't get me wrong; they've got to sell gin here and whiskey here to keep money.
Yeah, but come
to keep
in,
going.
have a conversation,
But
figure
they're
out
also
what you like.
creating flavors that you're going to
Yeah.
like. I mean, why would they create something that you don't like?
And if you don't,
It's unsellable,
if you don't
of course.
know, ask.
Ooh, yeah.
The people that are selling it, they know them, and they know the different flavors, and they will ask you, well, what flavors do you like? And they will recommend something for you that I'm sure you
Right.
like.
Now, so
ask.
That's a really good point because we went to a wine tasting in California one time, and they were all local vineyards that didn't have an outlet except for this. It was part craft shop.
Mm-hmm.
It was part craft shop, so there's stuff that people made there, you know, and then there's like all these wines from like 12 different wineries because they couldn't afford their own storefront, but it was a great place for an outlet, and it was literally called Locals in Healdsburg, California. So we walk in there, we're like doing a wine tasting, and the guy behind the bar, he just starts. He started out. He goes, "So what kind of what taste in a wine do you really like?" And so basically he started to fine tune it. Okay, and he got to and so when you go, and so he knew that all of the different vendors that were there, and by the 4th tasting, he had you as an individual nailed down as to what you like.
That's cool.
And so we ended up taking my wife and I ended up taking 2 cases, which shipping is another story.
Yeah.
So go on the Journey More Often website and find out the 5 ways to bring wine home. But they do that at every local shop. So here you can come in and say, "Hey, I like this. I don't like this. You know, I had a bad experience with that," and they'll be able to hone it in to get what you actually like. Because if they can't sell you something you like, you don't want to be there. If you don't want to be here, they don't like that. They want you to stay.
Yeah.
So they're going to try and find something that you like. And so
questions.
Right. And so whenever you're going someplace that's new, don't be afraid to say, "Hey, can I do a tasting?" And then start asking them questions, tell them information. That way they can get, like the bourbon. I really never thought about trying bourbon, a lot of people say, because bourbon is bourbon. Bourbon's the old man's drink from back in the 50s. Well, guess what? No longer. Bourbon is a really solid alcohol that you can buy you can find really nice. Like this bourbon is very nice. And it's, again, you know, like the other 2 that we started with, this is really, really smooth. And so it's a standalone. And that's what I'm liking. So far, 3 are standalones. You don't have to eat anything with it.
Nope.
You can just sit by the fire and sit by the fire, assuming you have a fireplace to sit by. I'm really sorry. But
fire pit.
But it's a sit by the
For someone that lives in a
fire
2-bedroom
pit,
apartment in
sit by the-
Fishtown, you do not have a fireplace.
You're probably not allowed to even have a grill at that place, I'm sure. Yeah, they don't like fire of any sort.
No.
You know,
You can't even say the word fire.
You can't smoke. You
Smoke
can't,
alarm. Our smoke detector goes
Goes
off
off.
when you
It's like-
open your oven.
Yeah,
You can't even say the word.
It's crazy,
fire.
isn't it? Yeah. and they purposely set those smart alarms.
They're so sensitive. So sensitive. You open it to take out something out of the oven, and in 2 seconds it's gone.
Yeah, our son had an apartment. Well, as a matter of fact, they had our son and daughter. And their spouses. They each had an apartment in Philly, and in fact, we had 3 kids in Philly at one point.
Wow.
And we had 4 kids in Philly. I have 5 kids, by the way. One
Gary,
one
how
kid
many
never
kids?
made it to fit. We have 5 kids, but 4 of them actually lived in Philly at one point, and all of their smoke alarms were set at such a
so
sensitive.
sensitive.
Like, you're right.
You light a candle the wrong way.
If you went outside and breathed in cold air and didn't exhale till you got in, it would set off the smoke alarm. I mean, it's crazy sensitive.
I never knew that about the smoke
they're
alarm.
bad.
Yeah, well,
it was
you don't have
bad.
to worry about the ear. It's just a big boom at that point.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, sorry,
You don't have enough time.
yeah, it's not. No smoke
All
alarm.
right. On that note, we're going to move on to the rye.
Yeah, let's go for the ride.
Tell us about the rye.
So the rye, you'll get some toffee, vanilla, and marshmallow. Our rye is very well liked.
All right, and it does have a peppery spice. You're
Yes,
talking about.
you're exactly right towards the end.
Oh, yeah, and that's something that we talked about with beer and wine, but we didn't actually mention this. All alcohol has an initial infusion, the taste itself, and then the finish, which is what you experience after it goes down. So, you've got those 3 different experiences, and some people like different parts of that. So some people like the actual taste, some people like the finish, some people like the entry experience. So, and it's whatever you like is good. It doesn't matter because you like it. And so my favorite statement is a good bourbon, a good rye whiskey it's whatever you like. It's not about what everybody else is drinking. That doesn't even matter. If you like it and you like to drink it, then that's your go-to.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going in. Sorry.
It's good.
It's
good.
I do tend to talk a lot, which makes for a good podcast, by the way.
Exactly.
Yeah. I get all of the butterscotch and toffee with this one. It's so good. The smell is good. I don't get, which weird to me is I don't get as much of the burn that I normally get with a rye.
Yeah.
Which is different to me because normally when I drink a rye, like you're getting like that.
It can burn.
That burn
It
on
can
the
burn.
back end.
Yeah.
You would
You
get
can-
with like a scotch with like the peat and stuff like that.
Right.
Like you get that burn. I don't get it as much with this.
Oh, the
which is kinda
licorice is
surprising.
definitely there.
It's very good.
And this tastes thicker for some reason. I don't know why. It tastes a little thicker. Has anybody noticed that Cheryl is not drinking because Cheryl is actually on the job, unfortunately?
We're working too.
Owners tend to abuse the privilege, and they drink a lot more. But
In air quotes.
Cheryl has to answer to some higher authorities.
Yes.
And so there's no judgment there because actually she can stay lucid.
Yeah.
Whereas if we tend to drink too much, we can get unloosed.
I might be sleeping in my car.
Or by.
No, I don't
No,
think
that won't
they allow that.
That won't
but yeah, there's local Airbnb.
won't happen.
There's
I'm
Airbnbs,
responsible.
yeah, and we're not. Trust me.
No.
This is going to be an hour, and if we've had an ounce, we'll be lucky.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
because these are first of all, they're very small glasses.
Yes.
And there's not a whole lot in these glasses, which that's the way we we're not here to drink. We're here to tell you
What
about
to
the
drink.
experience and what to drink. Yeah, exactly.
When you come here, this is what you should try. We're just enjoying
Oh man, that's
journey through it.
That is
Yeah,
crazy. The flavor on rye whiskey is this is absurd. The amount of flavor here. Did you mix glasses?
No, I didn't. But
Oh,
what
you
I,
went back.
What
You
I
went
did
backwards.
do, because having tasted the rye, I have found drinking one thing and then going back to another changes the flavor for me as well.
This is so
and
good.
immediately the custom cask smelled different and tasted different than the first time I had it.
Wow.
Just going from the rye and back, like instantly changed. In a good way, but instantly changed.
Wow, the bourbon's even smoother
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Not that the
No.
rye whiskey wasn't, but the bourbon's even.
I always find that
smoother.
interesting. Going from one to the other and then back changes like almost the entire profile.
Look at you! Oh man, you are.
I drink a lot of whiskey.
He's an aficionado.
Drink a lot of whiskey.
Aficionado.
My brother drinks more whiskey than I do.
We're gonna have
drink
to
a
take
lot of whiskey.
We're gonna have to take Tipsy Tagalongs on the road and
We might have to.
go to Kentucky and 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 Tennessee,
Ooh, I would be okay with that.
right?
I would be okay with that.
Yeah, so we can get both bourbon and whiskey and go to some of the finest places
You want
out
to
there.
get lost in a whiskey conversation? Just ask my brother. My brother has probably, I think at this point, almost 100 different bottles of whiskey. In his house.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah.
Every time I go visit, it's always a different whiskey.
What I love is, what's the oldest aged whiskey here?
The Custom Cast 100.
So you're talking, 5 to 7 years?
4 years.
4 years. Okay, 4 years. So 4 years and it tastes
that good.
Yeah. Okay, because everybody thinks, oh yeah, remember when the warehouse went up in flames? And I think who was it? Was it a Maker's Mark warehouse? It was
so.
It was a bourbon warehouse, and they lost an entire year's worth of production.
Yeah,
because they had stored it, and it was there, and some of their whiskey is there for like decades.
Yeah,
but you're looking at this because honestly. Local places don't have decades to produce that whiskey.
No.
So, the reality of it is they have to do it quicker, and so that you can enjoy it quicker.
Yeah.
And they can produce one that takes longer time, but the reality of it is, if they want to be on the shelf, if they want to break something so into the public, they have to go. You can't. Else they'll be storing barrels for 20 years.
Well, I think that's a testament to the skill of the distillers at local distilleries.
So Patrick is
our distiller.
Okay, all right.
That those whiskeys that they distill for longer? They say they distill them for longer because of the complexity of the whiskey, and you get more flavors the longer you distill it. Yada yada yada. This is a 4-year age.
Yes.
And it is as complex.
And that's the oldest.
Any 10-year aged whiskey
and that's the oldest
I've had. So.
And the rest
it
of
all
them
comes down to the distiller.
It does. I agree.
Yeah.
And he's done an amazing job. I mean, we've won several awards for our spirit.
Not surprising.
In New York and the USA Today, we were voted the best gin distillery.
Get out of here.
3 years.
Not surprising.
It's USA Today.
Yeah.
So that's a fine honor. That's definitely a fine honor.
Well, what do you have there?
So I'm going to share with you our coffee bean and chicory root whiskey.
Ooh. All right.
Coffee bean and chicory root.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Wow.
The nose on this.
You cannot confuse
the
this.
nose on this is a lot going on, and it's a really good.
I mean, that is a black cup of coffee right there.
Ooh, and the chicory root is definitely in the smell as well. So you've got this really strong smell, and I'm looking forward to the flavor.
Oh,
yeah.
So
there's the finish kicking in.
I've been.
That is fantastic.
I've been making an espresso martini with that.
100%. That is 100% what I would make with that. Yeah. Ooh. That is replacing the main ingredient of espresso martini. I mean, that is.
It's amazing.
That is insane.
That could be a new version of Irish coffee right there.
I will be leaving with a bottle of that.
During the holidays, we made a bourbon with eggnog, and that mixed with this coffee whiskey.
This would be
sold out before Christmas.
This would be so good. And
sold out before Christmas. I guarantee you.
Really rich hot chocolate.
If you didn't sell out before Christmas, I would have bought them all for Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah.
So while you're finishing that, I'm going to go create your smoked old fashioned.
Oh, that's cool.
Good.
That's cool.
So
Did you want one?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Okay, so I didn't
100%.
know whether you wanted to share the experience
we can
we
share.
could each have one.
But I will say I'm getting over being sick. So normally I would.
Is
say
that what
share.
that cough was?
Yeah.
Literally seconds ago.
I'll make you both.
Yeah.
All right.
Like I would
so-
normally share. I'm on the back end of it. It's just the cough now.
That's
but
cool. That's cool.
I don't want to get.
Well, in these post/COVID days,
right. I don't want to chance it. It is just a cold. I do not have COVID.
COVID ends on May 11th, right?
I do want to say that it is not COVID. I have been testing. I am okay.
Well, I've been both vaccinated and have had
So am I.
COVID, so it's like, all right.
So-
but
same.
I'm
not
mentally. I'm over it, even though I know it still exists, and you have to be
vaxxed and
careful.
boosted and everything. But I
Wow.
will say I did test. That is so Sam, my wife, does not like whiskeys at all.
Even this?
She does not like
Would she
whiskeys. She does not like whiskeys. Every time I get a new whiskey, I try to have her taste it to see if it's something she'd like, but she's not a fan. I think I could make an espresso martini with this.
And she would go for it.
She would not know.
Yeah, she wouldn't know.
She would have no idea. And I think that is, I think I'm gonna buy a bottle of this.
Don't anybody tell Sam.
Make an espresso martini and then see her reaction, because I feel like this would trick her.
Right? Yeah, I think so.
This
so
would
if
trick
she's
her.
watching, don't listen, Sam.
Sam, stop paying attention.
Yeah.
Close your ears.
What? Oh, we're drinking
this one
the
is
botanical
the-
coffee bean and chicory root.
whiskey.
This is...
It's good.
It's amazing.
Good.
It's amazing. I mean, you literally don't taste any alcohol in it.
It just tastes like a black coffee.
So we're in conversation with some of the people who have decided to stop by.
Fantastic.
Family, friends, that kind of thing.
Yeah, which anyone watching can do as well.
Yeah, you could have been here yourself and seen this firsthand.
Yeah.
And so when we put this out there, most of the time that we're going to be, all of the time that we're going to be, we're going to be in the public venue. So you can either, if it's like Kennett Brewfest or Kennett Winterfest or Kennett Summerfest.
Yeah. So many fests.
We're going to be
All
we're
the
going to be
Kennett
at Kennett
fests.
Summerfest, I believe.
Yeah,
And
I think so.
We're, you can be there. You can buy a ticket. In this place, you don't have to buy a ticket.
No.
You can just show up and
come
watch
out.
and watch us and listen to us talk. You can have the experience, share the experience firsthand with us at the location.
We promise. You're casting this right now on the Journey More Often.
Yeah.
Facebook page, right?
So this is going on. No, actually, no. It's on my personal. This is on Gary Moore Facebook page, and then I throw it up on the Journey More Often,
and then we throw it up on
Tipsy Tagalongs, and then we have a Journey More Often has a YouTube channel that we put all of the Journey More Often, the Tipsy Tagalongs, and the American Wine Journey stuff. So all of it goes on one place so that you can go and look at it.
So follow Tipsy Tagalongs on Facebook and Instagram. We will get better.
Yeah.
Promise. At posting ahead of time to tell you where we're going to be.
So, by the way, that's actually on. So what I'm doing, I'm going to go live with the Journey More Often, Tipsy Tagalongs, and American Wine Journey, and on the Journey More Often website.
Okay.
So people can check the Journey More Often website. Right now we have a podcast page, but below the podcast page is going to be those 3 pages. Okay. And in the page will show what's upcoming.
Perfect.
So you can check the schedule, so you'll be able to actually access past podcasts.
Perfect.
And so what it'll do is you click the link, it takes you to the YouTube channel. You can actually watch that particular episode, but you can get there from the Journey More Often podcast page for Tipsy Tagalongs. And so what you'll see with Tipsy Tagalongs is we'll show you the upcoming schedule for the Tipsy Tagalongs. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You'll be able to see that and go, oh, cool, they're going to be such and such a place. So instead of hearing it in the actual, and having to look that up and listening through the through the entire thing, you can actually see it on the website. Okay, so we're going to be and here it comes.
Oh boy,
here it comes. Now this is fun in a drink. Okay,
I am beyond excited.
So what they did is there's a thing here, and we talked about it earlier. They can't and shouldn't. They cannot and should not
have open flames.
Flames back here because they're distilling right behind us. So you're looking at the distillery behind us. So you get a glimpse of the actual what's going on. Kind of, I can smell it. It's kind of leaking out. So on the count of 3, we're going to open this up. They filled this with smoke. They've made an old fashioned. And
there's 2 pieces here, so both pieces.
So there's a firing piece, and then there's just the cover. So on 3.
Mine didn't leak out yet. Go. No, see, it's 2 pieces. You got to lift up both. See?
Whoa, don't turn. Yeah.
See, don't turn it over.
Don't turn it over.
Here,
so
I'll do this for you.
I need one of these.
Okay.
So
one of those.
They do sell these. They sell a resurgent whiskey. Can you show that on there?
I've seen the smoking piece.
So they show the resurgent whiskey, and you can see. Can you see the smoke? This is really cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna blow. Yeah, it's really cool.
go.
And so what happens is when she
Smell.
brought it out, the smoke was still in here, and it's flavoring
Yeah.
the drink. And have you tasted it yet?
No, I'm sniffing.
Yeah, you actually have
I'm
to.
a big smeller
Yeah.
of drinks.
Yeah.
It's weird, I know, but I like smelling
It's
drink.
neither.
a lot.
It's
delicious to
neither
smell.
awkward nor creepy.
It's weird and creepy.
Well,
I know, I'm aware.
it may be creepy. Well, maybe creepy.
I'm fully aware of my flaws.
However, you do want to get the smoke out before you start sniffing it, or else you'll start.
Yeah.
I'll start
yeah,
coughing.
yeah. I mean, that's just
Oh.
I'm just
That
throwing
is-
that out there from
That is just
experience.
unfair.
Did you
That is
try it?
unfair.
Did you
How,
drink it
yes, that is unfair how good that is.
Right? I told you
is-
this. I told
that
you
we
we had to have
that
this,
is just
live.
cheating.
This is so
Ma'am,
good.
that is
This is
unfair.
just one of how many mixed drinks that you feature here?
Oh my goodness, Gary. Probably at least 24.
20. So there you go. So there's 24 mixed drinks.
24
How many of those are
adventures.
featured? How many of those are featured drinks versus like standard drinks? If somebody comes in and says, "I want a
They're pretty much a
They're-
lot of
bingo.
them are featured.
bingo,"
You know.
so the vast majority are, something you're not going to get anywhere else.
Yeah.
So that's another reason to come here because you can't get
24
this.
different adventures to take when you come visit.
I know people say, Cheryl, you do a flight of all the spirits. Can you do a flight of
I
different
feel
drinks?
like you might have to.
Yeah. That would
And we
actually
do.
actually
Oh,
be
do you?
cool.
That's pretty awesome.
That
Yeah.
would be cool to do a flight of
Not
mixed
a lot
drinks.
of
Wait,
places
you
do that.
you actually do that?
I'll do it for it. Yes.
There you go.
Absolutely.
You'll do it. Okay.
There you go.
See there you
That
go.
is
I have
something
done
you
it.
do
You
not
You heard it
get.
from the source.
Yeah.
They actually do flights of mixed drinks here because
Perfect.
how do you choose? There's
can't.
so many. When there's 24,
Yeah.
how do you choose
Yeah.
which one you
Sit
actually
here for
want?
a month and have
And I feel like
different cocktail.
you go out and you are trying something new, like you said, or going to a distillery, and you're curious what something tastes like. There's nothing worse than getting a drink that you don't like.
Yeah.
So I would
Yeah.
rather give you, if you're switching between two, if you think I maybe this one or this one, I'd rather give you a taste of both of them, and then you can choose.
See, in my wife's case, it's I order something I know she'll like.
Mm-hmm.
She orders something she wants to try, and then we
Bingo.
normally end up switching.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Oh,
I'm the
you want to
safe-
try this bourbon, honey?
Yeah, I'm the safe choice. I'm the safe choice. She's the take a chance drink, and then if she doesn't drink it, she knows that I will pretty
Right,
much drink
right.
anything, which is dangerous.
Yeah. Well, that is dangerous.
Yeah.
Well, as long as she's driving or you're
Oh,
walking
I'm not.
home,
Yeah,
it doesn't
normally,
even matter. It
Normally
doesn't
on
even
nights
matter.
like that, she is the DD. I do not.
Well, that's
I do not
pretty
play that
sweet.
game. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
great. So this is and look, we got
Yeah,
we
you got the glasses.
The glass.
Yeah, everything's
Pretty sure
marked,
these are you can buy one of these.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so merch is good. Merch is king. You got to sell it. Gets out there.
Man, that's
we've got the Journey More Often merch kind of thing. So merch is
Hopefully, Tipsy Tagalongs. merch
Tipsy
to come.
Tagalongs. Yeah, we got our new logo
Yeah.
going up and
Yeah.
running. And
Yeah, we're
it's
getting
pretty
there.
cool.
It's right on the end. It's just two T's.
It's very nice.
Very
Tipsy
basic.
Tagalong. Yeah.
Someone, when I was
But
making your
looks good.
cocktails, they said, "What's the name of the podcast?"
Oh.
And I knew it because it's catchy.
There you go.
Yeah,
Very catchy.
it is catchy, right?
Yeah.
So that was the naming the podcast was actually
yeah.
an adventure in and
Yeah.
of itself because we had like a choice of like 6 or 7, and my son actually suggested the Tipsy Tagalongs, and I was kind of like, I was iffy on it initially, and then so I sent it to Matt because Matt and I are in this thing together, and I sent it to Matt. And I'm like, "What do you think?" And I didn't prompt. I put Tipsy Tagalongs as like number 2 out of 5, and he
Yeah.
comes back and he
That
goes,
was my favorite.
I like Tipsy Tagalongs. I'm like, sold. All right, that's
my
good.
favorite.
That's
It
good. And
really- it is-
it's wearing on me.
It's a good name
yeah.
of a podcast, but also it tells what we want to eventually have happen is people come out with us and tag along.
They're
on our
tagging along.
adventures.
So we've actually, we talked
Enjoy
about
the
this
Tipsies.
in our initial podcast. Which is okay. What are we going to be doing?
Yeah.
We talked about we named our following.
Yeah.
Tipsy Tagalongs are the people that we're actually doing this for.
Yeah.
So we've named ourselves for you.
We're trying the drinks and we're trying the spears, but we want people to tag along and come out and try the places that we're going to as well.
So in this relationship, who's the tipsy?
Me, 100% me.
He might be.
Gary, if this was like an old comedy, Gary would be the straight man.
Yeah. Although it's really
I would be
difficult.
like Jerry Lewis in this situation.
Because I'm mostly from like UK. My heritage is Irish, Scottish, English, and so the scary part about it is I can drink a lot and still function.
Yeah.
So I actually have to number my drinks.
Yeah.
So I don't do the wrong thing. Yeah. So I have to, just because I can doesn't mean I should.
Exactly.
So in today's world, I don't want to be a danger to somebody else.
Exactly.
Right.
It's not about me. It's about somebody else.
100%.
Right.
So, I don't want to be a danger to somebody else. So I'm not going to drink and drive.
Yep.
Unless. So I did get stopped years ago. Got stopped the policeman goes, "So have you had anything to drink?" I said, this was at like 10 o'clock at night. And I said, yeah, I had a beer at like 3. He goes, at 3? And I'm like, yeah, I just, with some friends, we had a beer, we just left, and that was it. He goes, you're free to go. He didn't even breathalyze me. I was like, he could have breathalyzed me. It wouldn't have mattered, because I had one beer at 3.
Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I was, drinking a lot. It wasn't Saturday night at 1 o'clock in the morning. And,
Right.
I had just pounded down like 12 drinks or something.
Right.
So I'm very cognizant of how much I drink, my surrounding environment, and to make sure that I don't, because I can walk out, I can drive, but I shouldn't.
Right.
And so I know that.
Right.
I recognize that. Just because I can doesn't mean I should.
Exactly.
So I definitely take it easy on that. Anyway, so sorry, that's the public service announcement part of Tipsy Tagalongs.
It all comes down to location as well. We have a place that we're probably going to be doing in a couple weeks here. Called Mural City Cellars.
Mural City Cellars.
Which is a 3-minute walk from my front door.
Oh, nice.
So there I might indulge a little bit more because I can just walk home.
Exactly.
And that is okay.
So you can live up to your...
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, you can live up to the one who drinks the most.
Exactly.
Well, Matt, we'll make sure you get one of those amazing burgers that we serve here as well.
Yeah. So, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to sign off. Unless you have anything else you want to say, this has been great. Cheryl, thank you for hosting us. We appreciate it very much. We're going to, like Matt said, we're going to be going to Mural City Cellars. We'll tell you about that. You'll be able to see that on Journey more often on the podcast section.
Yep.
We're going to be doing some American Wine Journey stuff in June and September. Pairing, I'm telling you, that is going to be one hellaciously watched podcast because you need to know what to pair, the wine to pair with your Thanksgiving dinner because
I'm more interested in the barbecue.
The barbecue will be fun. We're going to actually do red meat and white meat barbecue.
Oh wow!
So that'd be cool because what people don't know is you can actually drink red wine with white meat. You can actually drink white wine with.
I don't think going to a barbecue.
It doesn't matter.
Thought, grab a bottle of wine.
So now we're actually
normally beer and barbecue.
We might have to talk about pairing.
Yeah, might have to figure that out.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure that out. That's going to be a Tipsy Tagalongs.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be us. Please don't take that away from me.
So thank you thank you for hosting us.
Yes,
thank you all for watching us.
Thank you for the lovely drinks.
We appreciate being able to make this happen.
Yeah.
And by the way, we're off the clock and we're going to start drinking. We're going to have one of those fabulous burgers because I'm a very picky burger eater. I will be honest with you. I don't like to go out and eat a burger.
Wow.
What?
I don't. I don't order burgers.
A good burger.
Because I've ordered so many burgers at so many places and been so disappointed.
Oh, I love a good
And
burger.
when I came here, I thought, but I always try. There
you go.
So, I give it a shot. So I came here that first night, and I'm like, I'm hungry, but I'm not hungry, like hangry, where you're going to eat anything like it. No, and I don't do that anyway. I don't like something just because I'm hungry. So
that's why I don't go grocery shopping when I'm hungry.
Exactly. So we showed up here, and I tasted it. I'm like, dang. This is one of the best burgers I've ever had. And so I'm like, okay, so forget all the alcohol that you see getting produced in the back. They make a great burger, which is ridiculous. Who does both in the same place? So,
Come for the alcohol, stay for the food.
There you go.
Right?
And I feel like that's a great way to end it.
Ooh,
right there.
oh, wait. That's your next That's your next.
It's almost like
so
I
we're really
work in
good.
marketing.
Wait,
Our tagline.
wait. So
It's
wait.
crazy.
Remember, you're funding the fun in Kennett.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
now we're good at
Yeah.
at tags.
almost like I
We're good at
work in
tags.
marketing.
Yeah, you work in marketing.
crazy.
Believe it or not,
Crazy.
believe it or not, I work in marketing.
I know.
market.
I know.
I market one of the worst things to market. Engineering. We're so boring. And it's the worst part is
not
that
a bad thing to
that
market.
I market water and wastewater.
Okay.
Okay, so but here's the key. Here's my slogan. If you use the bathroom and you drink water, I make that happen.
Wow.
Right? So here's the deal. Whether it's a septic system or a public utility, well, I make that happen. So, all right. So now we've gone way too far.
We went off the
That's
rails on
TMI.
that one.
TMI. All right. But thanks, everybody.
All right.
We appreciate you hanging out. And
Thank you.
until the next time, journey more often. Wait, enjoy life.
Enjoy life.
Journey more often. Thanks.